Welcome to Tawfiq Tidbits. My name is Uncle Akbar, here to share stories of transformation that align with values that matter, yours and mine. In each episode, we'll explore real-life examples of resilience, compassion, and growth that can inspire you to live authentically. Let's get into it because life begins with connection and thrives on trust. Rejection. We've all felt it. We've all been there. That moment when someone turns away, when the door closes, when a loved one pulls back, and suddenly you feel small, you feel invisible, you wonder, do I really matter? But what if I told you rejection is not the end of the story? Today, we're not just talking about rejection. We're talking about healing. We're talking about reconnection. We're talking about how to rebuild trust step by step. Let me tell you a story. There was a man, let's call him Adam. Adam had been married for 12 years. He loved his wife deeply. But over time, life got busy. The kids, work, stress, it all piled up. And before he knew it, they weren't talking the same way they used to. Then came the night that changed everything. His wife was scrolling through her phone, distant and quiet. Adam reached out, just a simple question. Hey, are you okay? And she sighed, not an angry sigh, not a dramatic one, just a tired one. I'm fine, she said. But she wasn't fine. And Adam felt it in his gut. That night, he lay awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling something he hadn't felt in years. Rejection. The woman he loved, the woman he built a life with, was right there, yet it felt like she was a million miles away. If you've ever felt that way, if you've ever sat across from someone you love and felt like a stranger, you're not alone. Adam did what most of us do. He pulled back. He got quiet. He told himself it was fine. But inside, he was angry. He was hurt. He was scared. And when she asked, "What's wrong?" he said nothing. And just like that, the distance between them grew. This is what rejection does. It doesn't just hurt in the moment. It creates a pattern. One person pulls away. The other person senses it. One person lashes out. The other person shuts down. And suddenly, two people who deeply love each other are standing miles apart, even in the same room. But here's the thing. Rejection doesn't have to be the end of the story. Adam could have stayed stuck. He could have stayed quiet. He could have let the distance keep growing. But instead, he did something different. One night, he walked up to his wife and said 5 words. I miss you. Do you? That's it. No blame. No accusations. No anger. Just pure truth. And in that moment, she looked up from her phone for the first time in weeks, really looked at him, and something changed. Because beneath all of the silence, all the frustration, all the disconnection, she missed him too. If you're listening right now, take a breath. Think about someone you feel disconnected from. And ask yourself, what am I really feeling? What do I really need? What's one small brave step I can take today to reconnect? Maybe it's sending a message. Maybe it's opening a conversation. Maybe it's simply saying, I miss you. Because healing starts with a moment of courage. Let this be yours. Rejection is painful, but it doesn't have to be permanent. Connection is always possible. Love is always possible. Healing is always possible. And to you, our listeners, if this episode has resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. That's it for today's Tawfiq Tidbit. I hope this story has sparked something meaningful in your life. And don't forget, transformation begins with one small step